Photoshop fans, you're back. I can't believe you actually opened this one. My name's Ali Baba from One Stop Tutorials, and I can't believe you opened this video tutorial because you saw what tool we were going to be using. That's right, we're using the most dreaded, the most hated, the most pick up your computer and throw it out the door tool there is, the pen tool. This tool, and I'm going to be honest with you, this tool used to make me nuts. I just couldn't figure it out. I knew the basic, I'd read up on it, click, drag. Every time I come around a corner, it just didn't do what everyone else's was doing, you know, and then it used to annoy me. That's why I'm doing this video tutorial. I'm hoping I can get this in one part. If not, then we'll have to put it in two parts, but it's well worth it. This pen tool is, once you know how to use it, it's probably the best tool in Photoshop. Okay, so we're going to just open up a file, new, just going to open up a new window. We're going to open up a new page. Okay, doesn't matter what size, anyone will do. And we're going to click it. Ah, did you feel it burn your fingers? Okay, the pen tool. Here's the top one, the pen tool. Its shortcut is P. Up here you've got two selections. Okay, the first one you can shape layers, or the second one is the paths. Okay, let's go over the first one quickly. The first one is shape layers. Just simply click on it, and when you click on it, you'll notice you have a few more things up here. Okay, rather than if you just had the path selected. You see now we have a choice of a color, or we have a choice of styles. We can choose any style, and for this one we're gonna leave it red. Okay, now what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to make a circle. I'm just going to use the marquee tool, make a circle, and I'm going to fill it in with our foreground color. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the pen tool by hitting P on the keyboard. And actually I'm going to change this to another color. I'm going to change this to black. Okay, now the way this tool works is you could just click, 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 okay, or click. You could just click, click and drag, click and drag. You can make any shape you want, and then if it's not perfect, you can come in here and move the anchor points and change it. This is why it's so powerful. It allows you to make any shape you want rather than just the bog standard shapes that are available in Photoshop. So really worth getting used to. We're going to use this circle as an example, and what we're going to do is we're going to click at the top, okay, and we're going to click at the bottom, and we're going to see if we can draw it. Now as you can see, we're not even getting anywhere close. Okay, it's just, in fact, let me zoom out, show you again. Click and drag. This is a big mistake that a lot of new people make. They think they go for the wide angles and they think that the pen will reach it. Well, the actual pen tool really only works at 45 degrees or less. So let's say we clicked here and now we drag, holding down the left mouse, just drag. You will find that we get a perfect circle. Now the problem I used to run into, and this is the problem that used to give me a headache, was that I could never move it around to the next point. You know, I used to go over here thinking then I could click and drag and just, you know, stretch it out and try to get it perfect. But if you notice, it's never perfect, okay, because we're working at too much of an angle. And then I would, okay, well I'd come down here, click and drag, and I would just get these really messed up handles, and I couldn't work out how to use it. What we're going to do in this one is I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you now. At the end of the anchor point, put your pen tool on the end of the anchor point, hold down Alt and click. Now what this has done is this has taken away one of the handles, which basically means we have the freedom to move this tool anywhere we want now. Okay, we can choose any angle instead, rather than before we could only, you know, focus on the angle that was there. So I'm going to click at the bottom again, and I'm going to drag, and I'm going to work my way around this circle. I'm going to come back to Alt. I'm going to click on the box there, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. Again, click, drag, Alt, click, and drag, and there's my circle. That is just a lot easier. It took me ages to work out that you could do that. It really did. I used to really get mad with it. Okay, so that's how you make a basic circle. And then as you can see, it's just really easier to use again. Okay, so that's the path select. And what does this mean once we made this path? Well, what we can do is, I'll just quickly go back through again and I'll just quickly do this, put some background music on if you want. I'm just going to do this roughly. I just want to show you what you can do. Okay, now you have it all selected and everything's working. What does this mean? Well, if you go into your layers palette, you'll see that we have a vector mask thumbnail. Okay, now this means we can call upon this any time. So we could hold down Control, click on the vector mask, and it turns it into a selection. Okay, you could also hold down. You could hold down. It's all going wrong. You could hold down Alt, and what that does is it makes a selection of it. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just quickly deselect. Everything's going mad on me. If I zoom in and you look at the edge, when you hold down Alt, you'll see that the line comes back, which then allows us to grab the points and move them around. Okay, I'm going to have to go over that in the next tutorial. We're going to make this a two-part now because it's quite a long tutorial. Another thing it also does is it saves this in the paths, so you have a copy of this, and again you can do the same. Control and left click, and you can make a selection, the running ants. That's roughly how to use the pen tool. There's a lot more in depth involved. I'll quickly show you before we go out. You could right click and you have some selections here where you can make a selection. You can fill it with whatever color you want. You could stick a stroke around it, which will allow you to have like a pixelated look which comes from your brush. So you set your brush to a certain size and that will work. That's me out, over and out. See you guys in the next tutorial. Subscribe to my YouTube or leave your comments below, and I shall see you laters.